Live at 6:30, Sarpy County authorities give an update on a deadly shooting. The quick actions the county sheriff says led to lives being saved.
And a first alert to increasing rain chances. That'll be here for the weekend. We'll take a closer look at timing coming up.
Plus, trash companies are reporting a rise in people throwing away flammable items, the dangerous consequences it can have for workers.
On your side, 75 years and counting. This is 6 News WOWT, live at 6:30.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We do have an update to a domestic violence call that turned deadly. Sarpy County authorities believe Rebecca Geiger was shot and killed by her husband, Rory, late last month before deputies arrived on scene.
They say Rory was then shot and killed after exchanging gunfire with those responding deputies. A small portion of body camera footage was shown with us today. And as 6 News' John Chapman reports, the sheriff believes it shows why the deadly force is justified.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
I see the blast breaking out. That was the shot fired from Rory out the window. And I will tell you that enough of the window was shattered that Rory, or the suspect, kept leaning out the window with the rifle pointed at the deputies.
Take a shot! If you guys get a shot, take it!
Sarpy County deputies came under gunfire soon after arriving at the Chalco Hills home of Rebecca and Rory Geiger. Sarpy County Sheriff officials believe Rory shot and killed his wife, and at one point had his gun trained on one of his 2 daughters before turning his attention to deputies outside. Cruiser cam video shows a Sarpy County deputy dodging a bullet that he had no defense for.
I saw, I think it was Deputy Coleman with a shield. I would also add that Remington 270 will go right through that shield. So this is what they're up against.
Sarpy County Sheriff Jeff Davis says Geiger fired several rounds from a Remington bolt action 270. One round traveled through a garbage can on the street and a sheriff's cruiser. The heavy artillery didn't stop the deputies outside the Geiger home.
From the first shot that was fired to the time they entered the house was 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Deputies found Rebecca Geiger dead in the house. Sheriff Davis believes Deputy Ricardo Chavez Ortiz fired the shot that killed Rory Geiger. Davis says Deputy Chavez Ortiz was the only deputy to fire his weapon.
They responded, acted courageously, utilized their training, and the deadly force that was used, I have no doubt, saved lives. Probably one or if not both of the girls, neighbors that were in the line of fire, as well as each one of them and other responding deputies. And in my book, they're heroes, each and every one of them.
On your side in Sarpy County, I'm John Chapman, 6 News.
Sheriff Davis says all 5 deputies involved are now back on the job. State law requires a grand jury to examine the evidence. Officials say there is a lot of evidence that will be presented. Today, we were presented a limited amount of video in order to protect the integrity of this investigation. Meantime, Omaha police investigating a domestic call that led to officers firing their weapons.
OPD says they received a call about a man and a woman fighting inside of a building near 44th and Francis last night. When officers arrived, they heard gunshots and a woman screaming. Police determined the gunshots were coming from an office closet. When they opened the closet door, 2 officers fired their weapons. 6 News spoke to a witness who tells us she heard the gunshots from her nearby home.
Once I started reading on scanner page something about a counselor, then I was thinking, wow, it's our building. So I did walk up a half a block to look to see the back parking lot and spoke to the police at that point. And that is when I found out that it was actually the building that I work in.
Police say the 2 people involved are in the hospital. Neither officer was hurt. Per OPD policy, the officers are on administrative leave. An Omaha officer under investigation after a deadly shooting during a no-knock search warrant will not be indicted by a grand jury.
The evidence presented to the jury did not give them enough reason to believe Adam Vale committed a crime. 37-year-old Cameron Ford was killed in the shooting at the end of August. Vale was the first officer to enter the home. He says Ford charged at him and he couldn't see Ford's hand, which led him to shoot.
Omaha's police chief says Vail violated department policy and recommended his firing. At this time, Vail is still an officer. His HR hearing has not yet happened.
Taking a live look at Midtown with our City Cam network. A beautiful night out there. We are on first alert, though, for rain to come back into the picture.
Chief Meteorologist Emily Roller joins us now with the first check of your 6 first alert forecast.
And the rain chance moves in as soon as tomorrow night and increases into Saturday morning. Rain is just about a guarantee early in the day on Saturday before we get a little break heading into the start of next week. For now, we still have mainly clear skies, but that changes later tonight. By about 9 p.m., clouds start to fill in. Temperatures will cool off into the mid-40s, and by 11, we are mostly cloudy. From here out the door tomorrow morning, you'll notice the clouds right off the bat. Still some breaks of blue sky early in the day. Take advantage of that sunshine while we have it. You won't find much of that moving forward. By 3 o'clock, we are cloudy with mid-50s expected for our afternoon high. And by 10 p.m., the first of those showers could be getting started. The rain chance will only increase from there overnight and into Saturday morning when we have the potential for a few thunderstorms. Spotty showers are expected for the rest of Saturday, a little gusty as well. If you're trying to make outdoor plans this weekend, I would go for Sunday with a high of 58 and clearing skies for the afternoon. We'll take you through the hour-by-hour forecast and I'll let you know how much rain we could see. That's coming up. Jacqueline?
Emily, a Metro substitute teacher pleaded no contest to child abuse. Aaron Ward was arrested in Elkhorn in April. Douglas County authorities say they saw 2 people inside a parked car on a dead road in Elkhorn. One of them was a 17-year-old boy without clothes on. Deputies arrested Ward as she was putting her clothes on, and she said she also told them she had sex with the teen. Ward will be sentenced in January. She faces up to 3 years in prison. In the last couple of hours, Trump made his first administration pick. His co-campaign chief, Susie, will be the chief of staff, and she's to be the first female to ever hold that position. Some other big names for his second administration floating around include Elon Musk and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. President Biden addressed the nation today for the first time since Donald Trump won the election.
Biden said he spoke with Trump and promised a peaceful transition of power. He also praised Vice President Kamala Harris for her historic campaign, even though she fell short. Like Harris did in her speech yesterday, Biden said to his party they must accept the election results and keep moving forward.
You can't love your country only when you win. You can't love your neighbor only when you agree. Something I hope we can do, no matter who you voted for, is see each other not as adversaries, but as fellow Americans.
When Trump takes office, the Republican Party will have control of the Senate. Control of the House remains too close to call tonight.
A warning now from a local waste management company. Stop throwing away batteries in trash cans.
As 6 News' Johan Marin reports, a worker is thankful to be okay after an incident this morning.
Justin Stungus is still in shock after the events that led him to standing outside this gas station.
Oh yeah, glad I'm okay. Glad.
Stungus works at Gretna Sanitation, picking up trash from neighborhoods. Thursday morning, that job turned dangerous.
Was headed down to the landfill and noticed smoke coming from the top of my truck.
Stungus immediately pulled over near 168th and Cornhusker Road. When he opened the back, there were flames shooting up, so he dumped the burning trash onto the road, just like he's been trained to do.
It was actually flaming pretty good. It's happened to me before, yeah, and it's scary. It kind of catches you off guard.
Brett Crampton with Gretna Sanitation and Hillside Solutions says lithium batteries are the culprit for the fire.
It's been the 3rd time in the past year that we've had a fire breakout in this manner because of something going in the trash that shouldn't be. What I do know about batteries is once they get punctured, that's when the contents inside can leak, and that has an opportunity or a potential to cause fire.
It took more than an hour to put out the trash fire. First responders and other crews showed up to clean up the mess. Both Stungus and Crampton say things like this shouldn't happen, and that it's important to ask yourself what you're throwing out and the impact it could have.
Try to think, okay, does this have batteries in it now? Does it have some sort of rechargeable battery in it? If not, if it does, then don't put that in normal trash.
If you're ever in question, just look it up.
On your side, I'm Johan Marin, 6 News.
There are specific locations where you can get rid of your batteries. If you need that information, we have it for you on WOWT.com.
Coming up, Republicans have the supermajority in the Iowa legislature with a few races still too close to call.
The impact of those close races and what they can have on the Hawkeye state, why it could also take time for them to be called. And taking a live look outside at 144th and West Dodge with our Union Bank and Trust CityCam network. It was a cool and sunny day in the metro. The clouds and more rain will make their way back tomorrow. Emily has your full forecast when Live at 6:30 returns.
Big selection, big savings, big ideas.
We close at 8.
Welcome back. Tonight, a few races for the Iowa legislature still too close to call. So far, Republicans have twice as many seats as Democrats.
Two races for the Iowa Senate in the Des Moines Metro remain undecided by less than 50 votes. 6 News Iowa Capitol reporter Connor Hendricks joins us live. So, Connor, what impact could these two races have?
Well, Jacqueline and Aaron, this could decide just how big the Republican supermajority is. Now, the two seats in question are both held by Democrats. In one race, the incumbent Democrat is in the lead, and in another race, the Republican challenger is in the lead as well. Now, incumbent Democratic State Senator Nate Bolton of Des Moines is currently trailing Republican challenger Mike Pike by 43 votes. Pike tells me in a statement that he expects a recount, and he's confident he'll be the winner after it's completed. Bolton says there's at least a dozen provisional ballots left to be counted. Voters who are given one of those have to come back to the polls after the election and prove things like their residency or citizenship for their vote to count.
Patience is important, right? We all want instant results. That would be the easiest thing, but patience is important because accuracy is more important than timeliness. So we just want to make sure that everybody really does get that vote counted, and the accurate result is the end result.
Mark Hansen. So Sarah Trongariant leads by 19 votes. She told me by phone this afternoon that the results won't be final until next week when the Dallas County Auditor's Office does its canvass. Trongariant says that there are 20 provisional ballots outstanding in her district. She says these voters were flagged by Iowa Secretary of State Paul Pate's challenge to voters who at one point were indicated that they were non-citizens but later registered to vote after they became naturalized. Now, I reached out to her Republican opponent but didn't hear back. In the state of Iowa, recounts are not automatic. Candidates have to ask for them. If the margin of victory is 50 votes or less or within 1%, the state foots the bill. Live at the Iowa Capitol Bureau, Connor Hendricks, 6 News.
All right. Thanks, Connor. Rudy Giuliani made a federal court appearance today. A federal judge threatened to hold him in contempt for failing to surrender court-ordered belongings to 2 Georgia poll workers he defamed. He was ordered to hand over the assets back in October within 7 days. A lawyer for the workers say they visited Giuliani's Manhattan apartment last week, only to discover it was cleared out. Giuliani accusing them of lying. He was found liable for more than $140 million in damages.
Nearly 30 people were hurt after a tour bus flipped over in New York this morning. One person was taken to a hospital for surgery. When first responders arrived around 7 this morning, the bus was lying on its side. Authorities also said multiple semi-truck drivers helped people who were trapped or who were walking on the highway in a state of shock. The bus was heading to Niagara Falls.
We enjoyed plenty of sunshine today after a cloudy start to our week.
And rain will come back through tomorrow night. Chief Meteorologist Emily Roller joins us now with your 6 First Alert forecast.
I hope everyone took advantage of the sunshine we enjoyed today. The clouds are already starting to fill in ahead of this next system. This is still pretty good ways down to our southwest, but we'll start to see some impacts from it as soon as tomorrow morning. For now, our satellite and radar picture showing just a few clouds starting to work in. After 10 o'clock, we really start to see an increase in cloud cover, and we're going to be mostly cloudy by the time you're stepping outside early Friday. Still anticipating some breaks in the clouds, especially around the metro and into western Iowa by the morning. But once we hit the late morning to afternoon time frame, it's going to be overcast for everyone. The rain chance, though, is going to hold off until Friday night. The exception, that could be around Beatrice, York, Columbus, where we might see an early shower, mainly in the evening time frame. For the rest of us, we're looking at after 10 p.m. for that chance for scattered showers. It's going to stay quite isolated at first, with rain chances really increasing overnight. By about 4 a.m. Saturday, we'll be on first alert for a round of thunderstorms beginning down to the southwest. that scoots through the area in the morning, likely clearing the metro by about 8 a.m. or slightly after. This is our best shot at some heavier downpours. Once that clears, we're left with overcast skies and scattered, mainly light showers through the day. And that chance really winds down into the evening, although a couple of showers could persist into early Sunday morning, mainly off to the north. By the time you're heading out the door on Sunday, the system should be out of here, but the clouds will linger through the first half of the day. As far as our rain potential is concerned, this is looking like a nice round of soaking rain for most of us. Not incredibly heavy. A lot of us see totals around 1/4 of an inch, including the metro. But as we move to the southwest, that's where we could see a few totals climbing higher than 1/2 an inch. And that's going to wind down overnight on Saturday. For tomorrow, though, I would say leave the umbrella at home unless your plans are keeping you out really late. We're starting off in the upper 30s at 6 a.m. Mostly cloudy start, cloudy for the rest of the day, as a slow climb takes us into the mid-50s. A high of 56 expected for the metro. 57 in Lincoln, 60 around Atlantic and Red Oak. This is where we have a little more sunshine closer to about midday. A high of 56 around Columbus and 57 in Lincoln. Saturday is a cool day in addition to being quite cloudy, also gusty. Gusts as high as the mid-30s. With that high of 55, it'll feel chilly. A little more sunshine on Sunday, breezy but not as windy as Saturday, with a return to the 60s by Monday and Tuesday. These will be our sunniest days on the 10-day forecast. From there, we'll be tracking our next round of showers moving through on Wednesday. That comes along with a cool down. You can stay on top of the forecast by downloading our 6 First Alert weather app. You can find that free in the App Store. Very fall-like 10-day forecast, so I would say keep the jacket with you. The rain gear coming in handy as well by Saturday.
All right, we do need the rain still, right? So
we do.
Good news.
Absolutely. Thanks, Emily.
All right, coming up in sports, an Elkhorn North outside hitter carrying the team's weight as a sophomore. She's also relatively new to Nebraska.
6 Sports has our Athlete of the Week when we come back.
We have the meets. Now, 6 News Sports.
Elkhorn North volleyball will play for a spot in the Class B championship game on Friday night. They couldn't have come this far without Reagan Walraff. She just reached a major milestone, and she's our Athlete of the Week.
Elkhorn North outside hitter Reagan Walraff just surpassed 1,000 career kills last week, and she's only a sophomore.
I'm just trying to break as many records as I can, but I have a lot of help from Hayden and all of them, so it's kind of nice to have help from Hayden and Shay and everyone that supports me on the team.
Despite being an underclassman, Walraff is a heavy lifter for the Wolves offense, leading the team in total kills, kills per set, and hitting percentage.
She's just got a natural ability, a really high IQ for volleyball. She can jump out of the gym, and she's even more a better kid off the court.
There was a time when Walraff would prefer spending time on the pitch than in the gym.
I missed volleyball for soccer, and I wouldn't really care about it. And then I got a really good coach, and she kind of just taught me, she just kind of helped me fall in love with it, which was Terry Span, and she kind of helped me fall in love with it. I don't know, she gave me a spark.
Another huge turning point in Walraff's volleyball journey was when she moved from Arizona to Nebraska before her freshman season.
Coming to Nebraska, I think it was kind of it was something I really wanted to do because I just knew it would be a big change for me, and I think that it was kind of the most exciting change for me, actually, probably my whole life, because Nebraska has really brought me excitement for volleyball and stuff.
I think for her to be part of Nebraska is just really cool because it just, like you said, it just fosters her love for the sport. I think she's just Reagan to us. Sometimes we realize wow, she is a special player, but to the girls, she's just Reagan.
Congratulations to Reagan Walraff on being named Athlete of the Week.
Walraff and the Wolves play top-seeded Norris in the Class B states semifinals tomorrow at 5 p.m. And they've already got the celebration down.
Yeah, clearly. Goodness.
They're celebrating on Saturday night as well.
Big congrats to her.
Yeah.
Thanks, Clayton.
We'll be back.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Rebath.
Look at him now. Since starting treatment at limitlessmail.com.
Hey guys, here's a look at what's all new on NBC tonight.
At 7, Law & Order. At 8, Law & Order SVU. And at 9, Found. Then join us for 6 News Live at 10.
On The Tonight Show, Jimmy's guests include Saoirse Ronan, and on Late Night, Seth welcomes Barry Keoghan. All right, well, if you happen to visit London soon and love the James Bond movies, check this out.
The 007, billed as the world's first James Bond bar, has opened up in the West End. The pop-up cocktail lounge and store celebrates the 60th anniversary of the Bond film Goldfinger. The space has 2 bars, a carpet with lines from the films, and 3 gold Aston Martin sculptures hanging from the ceilings. There are also props, including a spy hole clock from Goldfinger's private plane. The 007 will be open through December.
Probably just one cocktail on the menu at that bar. That's martini, of course, shaken, not stirred.
Thanks for that, Clayton.
And it cost you $30.
Yeah, there
right,
you go.
Probably. Yeah, that's true. Gosh, it looks like a fun place, though. Yeah. How are we doing outside?
Well, the clouds are on their way in. Tomorrow is looking gloomy once again, with showers possible after 10 o'clock. The rain chances really pick up, though, overnight and early Saturday morning, where a few thunderstorms could mix in. From there, scattered showers continue Saturday afternoon and evening, clearing out for Sunday. Breezy both days of the weekend, especially Saturday, with a brief return to the 60s Monday and Tuesday. We'll cool back down to the 50s with another rain chance by Wednesday.
All right, well, I'll take the rain without the cold, so good news for me.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Hope you'll join us back here again at 10 o'clock.